Most people believe that life is shaped by actions, by decisions, by circumstances, but very few stop to notice something deeper. Before every action, before every decision, there's a thought. Quiet, often unnoticed, repeated so many times that it begins to feel like truth. I'm not good at this. Things never work out for me. That kind of life isn't meant for people like me. We don't shout these thoughts out loud. We whisper them to ourselves. And because they are quiet, we trust them. Over time, these thoughts become expectations. Expectations shape how we behave, and behavior shapes what we experience. Not because the world is listening, but because we are. What's dangerous about a thought is not that it exists, it's that we act as if it's already proven. We don't ask, is this true? We ask, how do I live with this being true? And without realizing it, we begin to move through life as if the future has already been decided. This is where the real power lies, not in positive thinking, not in blind optimism, but in understanding this simple truth. What you repeatedly expect, you slowly prepare for, and what you prepare for has a strange way of showing up. A self-fulfilling prophecy is not magic, and it is not superstition. It is a process, a quiet, psychological process that unfolds step by step. It begins with a belief, something we accept as true about ourselves, about other people, or about the world. That belief shapes what we expect to happen next. Expectations influence our emotions. They quietly adjust our level of confidence, our sense of safety, our willingness to act. When we expect failure, we hesitate. When we expect rejection, we hold back. When we expect disappointment, we stop giving our full effort. Those emotional shifts change our behavior. We speak differently. We move differently. We choose safer options. We avoid risks. We delay action. And because our actions are smaller, our results become smaller too. When the outcome finally arrives, it feels like confirmation. See? I knew this would happen. But the truth is, the outcome did not appear on its own. It was shaped along the way by the belief, by the expectation, by the behavior that followed. This is why self-fulfilling prophecies are so powerful. They do not force reality to change. They quietly change us first. And when we change, the results we create change with us. Every result in life follows a quiet sequence. It rarely happens all at once. A single thought sets the direction, not loudly, not dramatically, just enough to influence the next moment. A thought appears. This probably won't work. That thought creates an emotion, doubt, tension, hesitation. The emotion shapes a decision, to delay, to play it safe, to hold back. That decision leads to limited action, less effort, less presence, less commitment. And limited action produces a predictable result. When the result arrives, it feels objective, it feels external, it feels like proof. But in reality, it is the final link in a chain that began much earlier. This is how a thought becomes a fact, not because the thought was true, but because it guided every step that followed. Each small adjustment along the way seemed reasonable in the moment. Each choice felt justified. And yet together, they quietly shaped the outcome. The mind then looks back and says, I knew it. But this is not foresight. It is authorship. Most self-fulfilling prophecies are not dramatic. They are not loud statements or clear declarations. They are quiet assumptions that slip into everyday thinking and go unquestioned. These things never last. I'm just not that kind of person. Something always goes wrong. People can't really be trusted. We don't stop to examine these thoughts. We treat them as experience, as wisdom, as realism. And because they feel familiar, they feel true. Once a thought becomes familiar, it becomes invisible. We no longer hear it as a belief. We hear it as a fact. It shapes how much we open up, how much effort we give, how far we allow ourselves to go. When we expect disappointment, we protect ourselves. We lower expectations. We keep distance. We stop trying fully. And when the outcome matches the expectation, it feels justified. That's just how life is. But what actually happened is much simpler. The belief guided the behavior. The behavior shaped the result, and the result reinforced the belief. The human mind is not designed to search for truth. It is designed to search for consistency. Once it adopts an idea about who you are or how the world works, it begins looking for evidence to support it. If you believe you are not good enough, your mind will notice every mistake, every hesitation, every moment of uncertainty. Success will feel accidental, temporary, easy to dismiss. If you believe you are capable, the same events are interpreted differently. Mistakes become feedback. Obstacles become challenges. Progress becomes visible. The world does not change. The filter does. Your brain is constantly sorting information, deciding what matters and what does not. And it does this based on what you already believe. Anything that confirms your existing view feels familiar and safe. Anything that challenges it feels uncomfortable and easy to ignore. Awareness is the moment everything begins to shift. Not because life suddenly changes, but because you do. It is the moment you realize that a thought is not a command, it is not a rule, it is not a verdict. A thought appears in the mind, and for the first time, you pause. You don't fight it, you don't follow it, you simply notice it. This is a thought, not a fact, not the truth, just a mental event. That pause creates space, and in that space, choice appears. Rewriting the inner script does not mean pretending that everything is perfect. It means changing the direction of the story you are telling yourself. Instead of saying, "I can't do this," the script becomes, "I am learning how." Instead of, "This always goes wrong," it becomes, "This is challenging, but not final." Instead of, "I am not that kind of person," it becomes, "I am becoming." Small actions then provide evidence. One kept promise, one step taken despite hesitation, one moment of follow-through. And slowly, the mind updates the story it tells about you. This is how self-fulfilling prophecies reverse. Not by forcing belief, but by allowing experience to lead. We do not choose every circumstance in our lives, but we do choose the story we repeat to ourselves. And through that story, we shape the direction we move in. So the question is not whether prophecies come true. They do. The real question is this: which prophecy are you repeating today?